I'm Marlon Braccia, and welcome to Yoga Time. Today we're going to do a very essential practice, something that is really the basics of yoga. So to do that, we should use a few very basic yoga concepts. When you practice, you want to practice with very little food in the stomach because we'll be doing a lot of inverted postures where the stomach is down. So please do this before mealtime. We also want to use the breath to help us move through the practice in a way that focuses the mind. When we focus the mind and use the breath as the tool to do that, we take the physical postures and move them from being essentially calisthenics to actually being yoga. It's important that as you practice, that you are not too concerned about the range of the posture. That is, don't go too far. It's more important that you grasp the form, the alignment of the back, the way in which the hands or the feet are placed, and use the breath as a gauge. It will give you a lot of information. We'll use a particular breath called Ujjayi throughout the entire practice. And when you're not able to do that breath, it is your signal from your body that you're physically doing too much in the posture and then to back off. So, to begin, let's talk about Ujjayi. What you want to do is inhale, bring the breath in very slowly, and hear it against the back of the throat. So there's a slight whistling sound like this. And as you exhale, same sound. The breath comes into the chest first and fills and expands and then moves down to the belly. And as you exhale, the belly empties first and then the chest. So we work to use the entire capacity of the lungs in a very slow, rhythmic breath. So let's begin by just putting our arms, our fingertips out to the side. The chest is high, the collarbones are spread, but the shoulders are relaxed down away from the ears. We want to think of the crown of the head as being over the tailbone. And just a very simple arm movement, along with the breath as you inhale, the arms come up and overhead. As you exhale, whistling the breath down. Let the breath initiate the pose so that the inhale just starts, and then the movement. Reaching the fingertips high, rib cage comes high, and exhale. And twice more. Good. Okay. So let's take that very same breath and continue it through as we move into cat posture. From cat posture, we can go into a very wide variety of different yoga postures. So it's important that we get this alignment right. The knees are about 2 fists apart or directly under your hips. The hands come forward just under the shoulders, and then they move 1 hand length in front. So you are as box-like as possible. And then what we do is, as we inhale, we arch the spine and the face looks up. As we exhale, rolling the abdomen under, rolling the tailbone under, exhale. And inhaling, hearing the breath again. And just move on the wave of your breath, making it as long and smooth as possible. Just warming up the spine in preparation for more difficult postures. Okay, so moving on, curl the toes into the floor, and we'll start to go into a moving down dog. So same placement here. Fingers are spread wide, middle finger faces front. Make sure the arms aren't too wide, but right in front of the shoulders. As you inhale, face looks up. And this time, as you exhale, just lift the knees and push the tailbone into the air. As you inhale, come up. Face looks up. As you exhale, reaching back. The knees are deeply bent. And then increasingly, we're going to start to straighten the legs, bring the heels to the ground. The alignment of the back is the most important, so try and keep the back flattened. If that only means you can come to here, that's fine. Eventually, we'll have you come here. So let's move on the breath. And exhale into it. And then let's hold it right here for about 4 breaths. Let the head hang heavy. Reach the heels toward the ground, but most importantly, that long line in the back. If you need to keep the knees bent just a little bit to keep that line in the back, that's just fine. Now let the breath be as long and smooth as when you were moving, just riding on the breath. And as you inhale, let the knees come down. And as you exhale into child's pose, rest the forehead on the ground. And do rest between the postures. Okay, so now the spine is sufficiently warmed up that we can come and do some standing postures. We'll do a few sun salutations. You'll want to start at the front of your mat if you've got one. Big toes are together and just a little space between the heels. That keeps the outsides of the feet parallel. So just follow along as we inhale, arms come up. And as we exhale, we dive over. The back is again flattened and straight. Slight arch. Bring the ribs all the way down, and then release the neck and shoulders. On the inhale, slide the hands under the knees and flatten the back once again. On the exhale, fold down. On the inhale, step back with the right foot all the way back so that the front shin is parallel to the ground. Now, there are several places to be here. This is the initial pose. This is the secondary pose. And here, when you're very well advanced. So please be your own level And let's breathe through here, just a few breaths. Keep pushing into the heel, the hips come down. Please make sure the knee is not in front of the ankle. On the exhale, come down and step the feet back into down dog. Walk the feet up to the hands. And on the inhale, arms come out to the side. On the exhale, arms come down. Okay, so once again, inhaling up. Exhaling over. Inhaling, slide the hands under the knees. Arch the back. Exhale, folding over. On the inhale, hands come down. Step back this time with the left foot. Help the right foot up if you need to. 1, 2, or 3. Be in whatever position allows you to have a long, smooth breath. Exhale again. Stepping back to down dog. Walking the hands up. Let's just fold the elbows this time. Let the head hang heavy. Hands come down. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale. Down. Okay, so now just a few standing poses. The feet are 3.5 to 4 feet apart. The front heel lines up with the back arch. And you want to inhale, bring the arms up into the air, and then just hinge from this crease line into the side, keeping your wrists right over the leg, and bring the other arm up in the air. One hand is directly above the other hand, even if you need to be here. Eventually, the body will open up enough so that you can press one hand on the ground. And the most important thing is that you're not here, but take the torso and line it up right over the leg. And breathe through smoothly. From there, we'll come up into a position called warrior. Inhaling, bend the front knee, bring the arms up to parallel to the ground. You might want to spread the feet just a little bit more. So, the hips come down. The front thigh is working to be parallel to the ground. And the fingers spread. Collarbones spread, but the shoulders are down low. Face looks over the front middle finger, and the chin just ducks slightly. In warrior pose, we are looking to hold our ground, to take up as much space as if we are defending that ground. Lift the rib cage up out of the hips. Let the crown of the head just float right over the tailbone. Now moving on the breath, inhale. Back hand comes down, the other hand comes up. Keep pressing into the front knee as you arch over. Hips keep sinking. Try and stretch both sides of the rib cage. On the exhale, come down to that lunge again and step back to down dog. Good. Inhale, step the feet up. And gently roll the spine up. Okay, so other side. Spread the feet apart. Heel in line with the arch. Inhale, the arms come up. And exhaling, a shift to the side. Good. Now, reach with the top fingers. Open up the chest and sink as far down as you can. The sinking is the last part. Most important to have the torso right over the leg. If your neck is comfortable, you may look up to the thumb in the air. Creating as much space between the shoulders as you can. And inhale, moving on the breath. Exhale, releasing into the posture. So, as we hold postures, we want to dance the line between the will and determination to be there and surrendering to the posture. So it's not entirely passive or entirely aggressive. So just find that place where there's some work, but also some serenity. Inhaling, move. And exhaling down. Stepping back. And walk the feet up. Slowly rounding the back up, feeling the vertebrae stack one on top of the other. Good. Okay. So, stepping back into Tadasana. Big toes together, heels an inch apart. And just feeling the results of what we've done. Openness in the chest. Okay, so now we'll do a little bit of work called inversions. We want to do this particularly for the nervous system. It's very regenerative and very relaxing, but there are several ways to do it. If it's too much to do it this way, you want to do is lean your feet against a wall, about here. But more and more as you can, you want to be vertical, being very careful to do it only as much as your neck tells you is comfortable. So not too much pressure on the top of the spine. And just be motionless for 1 full minute, continuing to be mindful of the breath. If the mind starts to go away, just watch the belly rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Just reaching through the balls of the feet. Letting the posture quiet us. Good, then coming down either by bringing the knees toward the forehead and rolling down, or when you're feeling more advanced, one foot comes down and the other foot comes down. Gently roll the back onto the ground and bring the knees into the chest. Rolling through the right side to keep the body calm. Come up into a sitting position. And let's do a simple twist. If we put the left knee in front and the right foot over it and the right elbow on the inside, this is where they get a little pretzely. I'm going to take the other arm around you. As you inhale, raise the chest. As you exhale, turn the spine. Continuing to breathe very smoothly. Long exhale. Long inhale. Good. Then coming back to the other side. Right knee in front, left foot crosses over, left elbow on the inside. Inhaling here. Remember that crown of the head right over the tailbone. And try and keep it there. Good. Okay. Then ending with just a little bit of meditation. Now that we've worked some of the tensions out of the body, some of the energetic blockages, it's much easier to sit and meditate. Best to do it in a cross-legged position, but any comfortable position is fine. If you want to, you may back yourself up against a wall so that the spine is erect but relaxed. The index finger and thumb touch. The eyes close. Very gently, imagine bringing the breath up the back of the spine to the crown of the head. Same sighing, whistling Ujjayi sound. As you exhale, the breath comes down the front of the spine. And as you continue to orbit the breath around the spine, you want to just follow it with your mind. As the breath quiets, the mind quiets too. We can add a little bit of a hold after the inhale, retaining the breath, and then exhaling, adding just a second or two of hold after the breath. As you practice this technique, you will find that soon you needn't hold the breath, that just a pause between the breath occurs. It just happens naturally. And that is the space that we are particularly interested in the breath. If your mind starts to flutter away, just acknowledge the thought and gently bring it back to the practice of bringing the breath right around the spine. Notice if the breath gets soft, and just allow that to happen. Okay. To end each practice of yoga, what we would like to do is to come onto our back into a position called Shavasana. So turning, gently roll yourself down. Let the feet flop out to the side just a bit. The palms are up, so the shoulders roll out. And just close the eyes and relax the mind, relax the body, and just entirely let go. So you want to be here for 3 to 5 minutes. So please remain in that position. I recommend that you practice daily, even if it's for just a short amount of time. I'm Marlon Braccia, and thanks so much for joining me for Yoga Time. Namaste.